We're on Shabbat Perek Yud Tet Mishnah Bet, second Mishnah in the 19th chapter of Shabbat. We're continuing the discussion of milah, of doing circumcision on Shabbat. So says the Mishnah. Osin kol tzorchei milah b'Shabbat. You could do all the necessary elements of milah on Shabbat, which are mohalin, that's the actual cut. Uporin, pri'ah, you have the, I'm not going to use visual imagery because I don't feel like it, and maybe YouTube will block it, whatever. But you have the gid itself, the member, and it's covered with the foreskin. And pri'ah means that once you do the cut, you roll back, you peel back the skin in order so that it won't reheal. Motzitzin, from mitzitza, sucking. Chazal believed, okay, that the mitzitza, that the blood of the milah was very dangerous for the child, and they enacted up to the point where the Rambam says you must do mitzitza. You must suck out that blood, and the moel does it with his mouth. Nowadays they do it with a tzinor, with a little pipette, but there's a whole, as you all know, you might have heard of this term, there's a whole tremendous controversy about the idea called, I'll just write it for you so you know what it is, called mitzitza bepeh. Mitzitza bepeh means sucking with the mouth, directly, because sadly, many children, they can contract diseases if the moel himself has diseases. So a big controversy in New York, even controversy in Israel. It's very simple. You can do it with a little pipette, and then there's no physical contact between the child. Even nowadays that we know mitzitza, science has decided that mitzitza is not an effective, is not an important act. Halachically, it's enjoined, it's prescribed by the Shulchan Aruch as well. So we still do mitzitza. That's part of the milah. Mohalin, milah, the actual cut. Pri'ah, the rolling back. Pri'ah, ha'ora mechaseh et rosh hagid, you pull back the skin, and mitzitza, sucking it. Okay? V'notin alea ispelanit, and you put on an ispelanit, which is a bandage. V'chamon, cumin. They believed, and I don't know, cumin has healing properties. Okay. What happens if you have whole cumin? Im lo shachak me'erev Shabbat. Shchika, remember we learned about this idea. Shchika, we learned, and this is not according to Rabbi Elazar, according to halacha. What if I don't have cumin ready? I didn't grind it before, I didn't crush it. And shchikas mamnim is tochen, that's in Issur D'Oraita. Says the Mishnah, lo es b'shinav, you chew it, v'noten, and then you place it on the wounds. Therefore, you have to do it with a shinui, okay? Because you don't have to do it. That's what the Bartenura says. If you can do it mishaneh, if you do the thing, if you don't have to grind it now. Now I did the milah, I have to cut. Now I have to put a bandage on. So I need the cumin, I need the medicine. So instead of grinding it in the normal way, I do it with a shinui. Imlo taraf yain b'shemen me'erev Shabbat. They would also put this mixture of wine and oil together. Litrok means to beat it. So if you didn't beat it, me'erev Shabbat, yinaten ze be'atzmo v'ze be'atzmo. You take one, you put one and then the other. And the Bartenura says he says the following: they would beat in a bowl. They would beat wine and oil. And then mix it together for healing purposes. Like you mix eggs in a bowl. So therefore you put one and then the other. So the Kahati says, you put each one in a bowl. It's a machloket, whether you say it, you put one in a bowl and the other, and then you place it, but you don't beat them together. The implication also, it's unclear. Maybe it means you should put each one on the child, on the wound itself. The chaluk means, the Bartenura says that a chaluk, what they would do is, they would have that piece of cloth, and they would have a hole in it, okay? And then they would place it over the area of the, I'm sorry, I'm not showing you. They place it over the, as you can figure out, over the area that they would surgerize. And they would place the milah in that hole, so that the skin would not cover up the gid, the member, again. So therefore, the Mishnah says, you can't make that chaluk, you can't cut the little hole. But you can use a shmata, you can use smartut and wrap it around. What if I didn't bring it from Erev Shabbat? I didn't bring the smartut, the moel did not bring it. Then he says, the Mishnah says, korech al etzba'o, he wraps it. Remember, if there was an area without an eruv, korech al etzba'o, umevi, you wrap it, then you just wrap it around your finger and you bring it because it's a little tiny thing, and it's what's called derech malbush. Let's see in the Bartenura, he says, derech malbush. You're wearing it like, you're wrapping it around your finger, because everybody walks around with things wrapped around their fingers, I guess. You do it again, this idea of a shinui, because remember, we paskin like Rabbi Akiva, and you're not allowed to do things that you could have done before. But here, you're not carrying, you're just carrying derech malbush. Okay, and the Mishnah says, Okay? Not even if it's from a different chatzer, not from the same courtyard. It's from a different courtyard. Remember, it's only the Rabbanan. You're not carrying it in Reshut Rabim. And therefore, since it's not Reshut Rabim, therefore you're allowed to do it derech malbush. Even if there's no eruv. I'll just mention that Kahati says that according to the Ran, in the name of the Ramban, since it's derech Reshut Rabim, even Irulim will not do derech Reshut Rabim because it's derech malbush. That's a machloket in the Rishonim. We'll stop here. As always, if you have comments or questions, you can email me at my email address, rspolter@gmail.com. I will dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a great day.